What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Thank you for joining us for episode 30. I know, episode 30 of State of
Big
Affairs.
3-0.
Yeah, man. Yeah, dude. Should be a pretty laid back show today. Since we're doing a show today in the aftermath of the Venezuela strikes and the Maduro situation, I'm sure a lot of people think that that's where we're headed with this episode. Um, we we have some content coming up to talk about that. This one we had planned to just kind of be a more laid back Saturday show and go over some other more gender
More, well,
related
I don't
stuff
want
like
to say fun stuff,
well
but
yeah, but it's
lighthearted
more
stuff. And
lighthearted stuff and yeah,
yeah, I
we'll have some other
figure
stuff
we could
coming
do
up.
that 'cause we got a real big guest coming up.
Yeah, I don't even want to say it yet.
Yeah, we're gonna keep it a secret until we actually have
Okay,
a date and time locked in. Well, actually, we won't even like tell you anyone beforehand,
yeah,
but
we'll gatekeep
just
it a
keep
little
an eye
bit, but
out. One of the
very
next episodes that gets released will
yeah,
have
very excited for the guest we have coming
a
up.
really
So
beloved guest on our side of Twitter.
beloved guest, and just small hint, he's been getting a lot of hate from Times of India lately for some takes he's had regarding a certain Indian politician. I'll just leave it there. But yeah, I'm excited for that show, and yeah, this one will be a little more laid back. We have a couple topics to talk about. So um, I think I think it was last episode you brought this up towards the end, but from my very basic understanding, and it'll tie into some other things. My basic understanding is that there is a show out right now called Heated Rivalry, and I'll probably let you just take it from there. Just what is Heated Rivalry, and what's the controversy surrounding it?
It's a weird situation. So, like the NHL, they've been trying to push the gay agenda on the NHL for a while. And this goes back long before even the show started. And the thing is, NHL players are probably up there with baseball players as being the most based right wing, like,
Right,
or like, I mean, I think a lot of them kind of do the whole present as libertarian type thing.
right. But
But
NHL is like one of the only leagues that pushes back against like Pride Night and stuff. And baseball does it a
exactly.
little bit, but NHL
It's
is
not
like
as much like the NHL. Like, there's way more pushback because a decent portion of the NHL are Eastern Europeans who are
Yeah, that's true.
Orthodox,
Or like
and that
Russian or something. Yeah.
yeah, and like well that ties into what I know about the show. But so basically, this has been a thing for a while, and I'm convinced part of it is due to hockey being a predominantly upper middle class sport
hmm
where I think it's an easier sell, and it's like, well, it's a predominantly white upper middle class sport, so I think it is a little bit of an easier sell to a lot of the rainbow crowd where they don't have to get in the mud with basketball or no pun intended. I'm not
Yeah.
in a racial way, but
No.
like football, like
Yeah.
football's mainstreamed in a lot of ways. Where I think the problem is like hockey hockey has a lower fan base, or I shouldn't say lower, like a smaller fan base than the other major sports.
Right.
So I think it's one of those things where, and it's very Canadian, and we know
Yeah.
how they feel about this stuff.
Right.
So I think
Right.
there's like that whole because I there's a really weird line drawn between like Canadian hockey fans and American hockey fans,
I've heard that.
and and I from playing hockey, it's very like there's a guy on one of my teams who has an FFL license, and like
Oh, wow.
like you can say something based in a hockey locker room. It
Uh-huh.
depends on the team, but like at least one of my teams, it's like you don't have to optics check. Like it's a
Y-
very kind of more right leaning subculture.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, I went to a Stars game well, not recently, like last season. And yeah, I mean I mean not saying anything groundbreaking here, but it's like yeah, I mean you would have thought you were at like a white people rally. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, I mean,
it's all good-looking white people, it's families, it's like yeah. They're not
and it's
playing
like there's
they're
a
not
lot
playing
more,
rap and stuff. They're playing like
it's upper middle class,
yeah.
and it's just and like it's a little less that you do I will say you do see more lesbians.
Oh
Like
yeah, I could see
there
that.
is well because and that's the thing, like hockey is a very prominent sport with young female athletes. So it's
Yeah.
like and it's kind of like basketball in the sense that it's a game they can actually play, unlike baseball, even though they play softball. But baseball and football, it's like, women can't really play that. There's no
Yeah, yeah.
alternatives, whereas like hockey is a lot more popular with younger women, and so but you do see like you I will so I was at a minor league hockey game this last weekend, and they did the kiss cam, and they put a guy and a girl on, and the girl the guy laughed, and then the girl like she chugged a beer and then turned around and smooched the chick next to her on the other side. And
Oh yeah, yeah,
then there's
yeah.
another lesbian couple across the aisle. But again, this is also minor league hockey, so it's like,
Before we get into it, did you see the story with Scott Van Pelt and the kiss cam on New
yeah,
Year's
I
Eve?
did. He caught himself nice,
Dude, he
saving his
saw
livelihood.
he saw his entire career flash before his eyes. He
Well,
went,
that's the thing. He does like okay, he wouldn't make as much, but if he would have been disgusted and got fired,
uh-huh.
OAN would have had would have
Yeah.
emptied the coffers, and all those big right wing media outlets
He
would
would
have.
he would become like he would
He
be
would
doing
he'd
a
go the
show with
Megan Kelly route.
or he'd go the Clay Travis route or the Jason
Oh
Whitlock
yeah,
route. He could That's totally open to him. I
well
don't know that he's
it
that
is funny.
conservative, but that was hysterical because that was just like a very visceral reaction. Like that's the reaction any guy would have to seeing two
Well, and
guys
the
kiss.
funniest was I want to know how much that guy who won 300,000 betting on that initially bet and what the odds were. Because if I would have
Yeah,
known that, I and the odds were good, I would have put a sizable chunk of money on that.
right, right.
I
Yeah,
feel
that was
like
a
it
nice
had to have
payout.
been one of those things where the odds probably weren't that great, and because it's a given. But I want to know what the odds were because I actually no, I don't because then I'm going to be mad.
You'll
If
be
there
mad
were good odds,
exactly.
I'm just going to be like, that was the
Exactly.
easiest slam dunk. But no, I think he could have totally ended up. I mean, granted, you have to adapt to like a different life when you get like disgraced out of mainstream media and into that weird Clay Travis, like
Yes,
Jason
yes.
Whitlock, Megan Kelly, like even though they're still big names,
Hmm.
you it's still it's a different kind of life, and you have to like lean into it. Like there's a chick who works for Clay Travis at Outkick. I don't know if she still is. Her name's Charlie Caruso.
Uh-huh.
Like she was like the chick who holds a microphone and interviews people at WWE. She was on ESPN.
Hmm.
Like she was a big media, and in like she was always posting very libtarded like nonsense, and then magically she gets an offer for Clay Travis, and all of a sudden she's Miss Based, Miss Women in
Yeah,
Sports.
yeah, yeah, it's a different world because I mean, sports journalists are still journalists at the end of the day, and they do still care about like being accepted by the ruling class basically. So like yeah, even though they may still make a good sizable amount of money being the
Or if they
base right
try and
winger.
lean too much into it becomes like with Charlie Caruso, it becomes really transparent. They're just putting on the act,
Yeah, exactly,
and
exactly.
like I don't know, even Whitlock, like in Clay Travis, you can kind of see like they're kind
Hmm.
of putting on a little bit of an act, but then they do the thing where they're like, "Oh, I don't get why I'm not like more
Exactly.
popular." Like,
Yeah,
well, no, you
yeah.
got to accept you're in this like little bubble
This
now.
new milieu. Yeah, exactly. So for heated rivalry, did it? So I'll pull up kind of what you sent me. There was something that some
So the
stuff
whole
that I
thing is
found.
based off porn books.
Okay, so that's kind of my,
It's based off like smut books where the chick I sent you, she like ugly fat
yeah,
chick from
where,
Canada, she wrote this, which is really weird. It's not like it's some weird like twink who wrote this.
uh-huh.
It's literally written by a woman, and it's really part of that push to really gayify hockey because it's kind of like that uncharted territory where
So
you
this is
get all the
her.
Canadians, you get the women.
So this is her who wrote the book,
She was
right?
a whole series on it.
So she wrote, so it was based on a book called Heated Rivalry, is that right?
I think so, and there's a whole
Okay.
series on
Well,
it
yeah, it
of
looks like
like
it. Yeah, so it's about Heated Rivalry, and this sounds like the gist of the show. Heated Rivalry by Rachel Reed is a popular MM, I didn't know that that's the term, popular MM male to male romance novel about a secret relationship between two rival professional hockey players, Shane Hollander and Ilya Rozanov,
right. They had
who
to
are
make one of them a Russian.
exactly, yeah, who are captains of opposing teams. Yeah, so the I became familiar with this. I forgot where I saw it, but it basically, yeah, I remember the trailer for it. It has these two guys who are ostensibly like white guy Chads, and they're sitting at the podium doing a press conference, and they start playing footsie with each other, and that's supposed to let you know, like, oh, behind closed doors,
Well, that
they're
no, that's a tame trailer. Some of the ones they
oh
aired
my
on HBO
gosh.
were like, there's one scene where they do a jump cut where in one scene he's getting checked into the boards, then they jump cut it to the one guy in the bedroom pushing the other guy against the wall.
Oh no. See, yeah, they are really trying to gayify hockey. Yeah,
Well,
that
and
seems
then
like a very conscious thing.
this has gone to an extreme level because the idea is, well, she grew up in Canada and was probably never got with any of the Chad hockey players. So
Right.
then her revenge is like, oh yeah, well they're probably gay and they're all probably just having orgies in the locker room and
Hmm.
I'm gonna write a book about it.
That's always the cope. Yeah,
I
exactly.
guess there is a scene in the show too where one of the other players, who's also secretly gay, proposes to his boyfriend in the middle of the rink,
Oh
and the
my
whole arena goes
gosh.
off cheering.
Yeah, there's the gayification of hockey. It's
Well, I gotta hear this stuff from regular people because like I talk about I play hockey and everyone and especially buddies' wives. Oh, wink, wink. You guys taking team showers,
yeah, yeah. It's
and it's ruining hockey. So the thing is, you get like that tweet I sent you. It's basically like one of those things where you have these weird sexually repressed AWFLs who are
hmm
goonettes and they won't admit they like the goon factor of it, but it's they're watching porn. That's what it
yeah,
is. And then
yeah,
you get the weird gays who also like this because it appeals to them because it's basically like some of the stuff I've heard very like I'll spare you the details, but like I've heard that it's full on porno.
yeah. That doesn't surprise me, especially when you look at the picture of the woman, Rachel Reed. Doesn't surprise me at all. When you look at this, this is a woman who was rejected by Chad, and this is her revenge. So that doesn't surprise me at
Exactly.
all.
Oh, we're and
100%.
it's the Gunner joke of deep down the libtard knows that calling you gay is the worst insult because it's disgusting.
Exactly.
That's
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
it's like kind of like a wink wink like
Yeah, this is
what
degenerate. Yeah,
it
exactly.
is and it's just the whole and this is the problem with hockey being so popular in Canada. They're just completely paused out of their minds up there.
Hmm.
So they'll be like, "Oh, this is good. It's growing the game." It's like, do you really want twinks who don't care about hockey and overly sexualized goonettes? Like base. And so the thing is, a lot of there's a push. There's a really astroturf push for this because obviously it has its weird little market. But then
Uh-huh.
there's a lot of normal people who really hate or who rightfully hate this because they're like, my sons play hockey. Like, and
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
pushing literally a gay porn show because they're not pushing it. See, the thing is, they're not pushing it like it's porno where they're like, hey, just for the adults. They're trying to normal. So, like, that's one of the things about this show is they're all the major hockey podcasts are forced to talk about this now.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
the empty netters who are two dorks out of LA, they started doing watch and they literally are soy jacking in their thumbnails for this stuff.
Oh
And
my
then when people
gosh.
complain, they're like, it's literally just representation. What do you like? You could
Right.
watch a show about two girls, but you can't watch a show about it's like, dude, it's porn. You're pushing
Yeah,
gay
yeah.
porn onto the masses, and regular hockey fans do not like this. Like if you look at all the tweets like with people trying to push it, there's a huge pushback from normal hockey fans where like this is dumb. Like stop pushing porno on us.
Yeah, that is always the argument is that it's not even the argument. That's always their like approach to stuff like this is they say that it's about representation and it's about growing the game.
If
Don't you
I
want
went to
more?
HBO pitching a show with two knockout women who are professional soccer players, and the whole show is just them 69ing and scissoring, I would get tossed out of the building. They would
Exactly.
call me a gooner. They'd say, "You're a pervert. This is porno." Like,
Right, right. Yeah, I mean it's the same thing. You see that a lot with like with the WNBA. When the WNBA freaked out that Caitlin Clark was attracting like normal white girls to the sport, God forbid, that you got like a new push, like a counter push from the dyke black lesbian crowd who they wanted to start pushing like black lesbian players as kind
"Oh,
of the
we've been
retort.
playing for years and no one cares."
Exactly.
Like, yeah, we
Yeah,
don't
because
care.
nobody likes that. And it's like, do you
And
really, I
none of
mean,
you are like Sophie Cunningham.
yeah,
She's I
yeah.
mean, she knows she's a fun blonde girl,
Cameron
very
Brink.
tan, Cameron Brink, and but like Cameron Brink, she's kind of a little stuck
Yeah.
up, but like she's still
Well,
pretty. But
yeah.
like Sophie Cunningham, I think
Yeah,
I'm surprised she doesn't get more. Well, she's a tough girl. Like she was the
she is.
enforcer on that Indiana team, so I guess
Right.
nobody's gonna go after her. But like you can tell like people did not like when the Indiana was like, all right, we got Sophie, Lexi Hull, and Caitlin
And
Clark.
Caitlin Clark,
Well, and
exactly.
they tried to claim Caitlin Clark was a lesbian.
I've heard that. Yeah, it's so annoying. And yeah, so they did that with Sophie Cunningham. Part of the thing though that really terrifies them about the Caitlin Clark thing, and we'll get back to heated rivalry, but we're just kind of talking about the women in sports thing now. But what really terrifies them about Caitlin Clark is that not just that she's straight, because I see a lot of like boomer conservatives when they get into this space, they say like they don't like her because she's good at ball and she doesn't talk politics and
Oh,
she's
geez.
and it's like
Well,
no,
she's
no, no, no.
Catholic from what I've heard.
Right, but what really terrifies them is that she doesn't embrace black culture and doesn't act like
She's
a
not
black
Paige
girl.
Beckers.
Exactly. She's not
Paige
gay.
Beckers, I look at and I'm like,
I'm a
if
little
I had a
disgusted.
daughter, I don't know if I'd want her playing basketball. I wouldn't
Right.
want her. Like, yeah, she's a good basketball player,
I know
yada
what you
yada
mean.
yada. But like
Exactly.
the
But
way she talks and acts is very
yes.
disgusting.
Or like who they really want all their players to be. I hate that we're talking about WNBA, but this it just is what it is.
Oh, Brianna Stewart.
They all want this is what they want. This is what they want your white daughter to be is like this gaunt, sunken eye, weird
Gummy
physiognomy,
lesbian
gummy, gangly lesbian. This is what they want your daughter to be. They don't want them to be Caitlin
who
Clark,
talks in like a wigger,
who
who
talks
talks with
like
a
who
wigger
talks yes.
accent, or I was gonna say inflection.
Yes, talks like a wigger, is
Acts like a
gay,
man.
acts like a man, wears like the tie with the blazer thing. It's gross. This is what they want. And that's what they see they're getting with Paige Beckers. The other thing that I've noticed, dude, I don't know if this is real or not, but well, I guess all lesbians, but especially ones like Brianna Stewart, they age horribly, dude. They
Oh
age
yeah.
they age really bad.
It's
Like,
all we've talked about this. I think you and I talked about this off the pod a long time ago, probably even before we did the pod. You can see a weird aging where this is where maybe I get very conspiratorial and like maybe conspiracy is the wrong word, but like I'm convinced there's something about a woman who does not have sex with men that is bad for her body. It
yeah,
ages them. There's something
it's
it's like if they're being punished for being unnatural.
it's like their life force is drained from them or
Yes,
something. It's
it
like they don't
always looks like that.
and yeah, I don't want to look at her ugly pictures with her wife or whatever, but yeah, especially the more manly ones, because in these relationships you always have the Brianna Stewart who's like the man, who's like the dad, and then the more feminine wife version, and the dad or the masculine woman always looks like this kind of decrepit, drained, the eyes are sinking. I don't know what it is, dude, but yeah, it's disgusting, and this is what they want your daughters to become. It has nothing to do with like, I mean, maybe a little bit it has to do with Caitlin Clark is like conservative coded, but if Caitlin Clark were out there like shaking her ass like Paige Becker's doing TikToks and hanging out with all of her black friends, they would love Caitlin Clark.
Yeah, I think
They
that's
would
the
be
thing
fine
is
with
that
that.
she doesn't like. I was gonna say like Sophie Cunningham. She dances out there, but like she's a country girl. She listens to
Exactly.
country.
Dude,
She's
they
very
don't,
Christian. Well,
yes.
air quotes. Yeah, I sent you that thing where she was trad wife posting, and then posting like best women in the Bible type
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
So
yeah,
she's
yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
kind of Christian, but like I think it's hard to hate someone like Sophie Cunningham because it's like, but if Caitlin Clark did act that way, there would be more hate. But I think
Exactly.
it's because she doesn't do the shucking and jiving like Paige Beckers does.
Right, right. She'll like unapologetically hang out with like her white girl teammates, but still, have the black friend or whatever. What made a lot of black women on Twitter really mad was Angel Reese did the Victoria's Secret runway catwalk thing, and she was in, I guess Angel Reese had always wanted to do it or something. And Angel Reese does the walk and everything, and she gets her attention that she always wants. Angel Reese, yeah, just a horrible woman, a dumb, horrible
There's
woman,
a theory
honestly.
that her and Shaq are banging.
No, I think she's creeped out by Shaq. If you, we'll get to that, but
Interesting.
so she does, and I'm not going to expand this picture because that's just horrible. But she does the Victoria's Secret one runway thing. But Sophie Cunningham the next day comes out and says, I've always wanted to do the Victoria's Secret one way. Sign me up. And all the black women on Twitter were like, this is white privilege if I've ever seen it. A black woman goes out there and gets attention, and a white woman wants to copy her. And it's like, you're just mad that she's like blonde and hot and like that she
Yeah.
puts Angel Reese to shame because Angel Reese has Candace Owens physiognomy and looks like a bug or looks like an ant. So anyway, that's I have heard the theory that her and Shaq are banging. If you watch the interviews, Shaq is just kind of, and I don't use this term flippantly, but he is kind of a creep in the sense that like he's just kind of like an old black unk.
Well,
If
he's
you've
the
ever met
boomer.
that, yeah, he's
He's
just like a boomer black unk who's just going to be like,
he's got
get
the
that,
same personality of almost every wealthy
every,
boomer that's just like, I can pull.
yeah, and he's like he did an inter like he's the boomer that would just like look at like a 19-year-old and be like, get that pretty ass over here. You know what I
But
mean?
if you call him out, he'd be like, no, 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 I'm just playing. Like I
That's what
have
he's
daughters.
that's
I'm a
what he
good
says.
guy.
And he goes with the women empowerment route. He's like, "Oh no, man, I'd give money to all kinds of female causes." It's like,
But then if
dude,
any guy hits
you're
on
horny. You're
if
horny.
any player or his hit on Angel Reese, who was like a younger black guy, he
Uh-huh.
would be like, nah, he's a bum. You got to stay away from him.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's a YN. He a YN. He ain't even
Learn
got
your
his
place,
mind
young
right.
man.
Exactly. It's so yeah, dude. It's always the boomers, bro. It's always the boomers. Um, but yeah, there is that's to get it back to heated rivalry. That is always what you hear. And I guess I would ask you this as a hockey fan. Like, I know when you have your thing that you're interested in, you want to see, like in a perfect world, you would love to see, I'm sure, the NHL as popular as the NFL in a perfect world.
Yeah,
But,
but I also
but
kind of understand. Yeah.
yeah, but there are trade-offs that come with that, with like with the normification of your niche thing. So that's what I always think of when I hear like these female journalists say, or even black journalists for that matter, say it's about inclusivity and we want to grow the game. It's like, I don't know. Do you want to grow the game? Growing the NHL would entail probably having like end racism stickers on their helmets. You know what I mean?
And I just
Like,
don't think it jives with the culture of hockey. I think hockey is naturally a far more conservative, and I think that's just the base it has, but also I just think just the type of game it is kind of breeds a natural kind of conservative
yeah, I mean,
mindset with it because it's not a game where, and this is what learning to play later in life, going from basketball, like there's games where I don't have any counting stats, and I'll have,
yeah,
in my
that's true.
opinion, a good game
That's a
where
good
there's
point.
so much about, it's like so much of hockey is a team. Like, and you can say, I get, you can say that about every sport, but like with hockey,
No,
it
I know what you mean.
really, really boils down to having a team dynamic and working as a group. And I
Yeah,
think that obviously, I think jives more with more based principles. Whereas like basketball, you get the superstars who just they're gonna go out and put their points, have their cult of personality,
right.
and even football to like the same extent. Like you have players, they're gonna have their cult of personality and their numbers. Whereas like it's so much more of a selfless game that relies on a team dynamic that if you just go into business for yourself, you're gonna have everyone mad at you.
Yeah.
And it just
I'm
doesn't work the same as basketball.
yeah, I'm pretty much a I don't know if I want to go with this term, but it's something like a biological determinist. Like I think a lot of it comes down to biology. And when I think about like the sport of hockey compared to something like soccer, which is inherently libtarded, um, hockey is a cold climate sport. So the people that it would attract are like cold climate people, Eastern Europeans, um, people like it there is something more conservative. Literally, you have to conserve more resources when you live in a cold climate than you do in a warm climate. So
Well,
I
and
think
it's working together, and
it's
it's
working
like
together. It's not about yeah.
it's a
As a
lot of selflessness. And the
yeah.
other thing is, and we've talked about this, but I think before we even started the pod, it's what take always comes up with hockey.
It's white. It's a white guy sport.
No, like on that, what do people say? Or whenever there's a fight in the NBA, what do people say?
Oh, yeah. What? Why do they let hockey players fight it out? But when an NBA fight happens, they have to break it up right away. We know about the racial implications of what they do in there. It's like, yeah, because in a hockey fight, they have the self-control to say, we're going to fight for I don't know what the rules are, but we'll fight for 60 seconds and I'm gonna square up.
And the second you go to the ground, the refs jump in, and
Yes.
it is,
Dude,
and but it's also, it's like, yes, sometimes you'll have brawls. Like brawls do happen,
yeah.
but like there's so much more self-policing and containing and more of just like honor in it.
Yeah, yeah, it's honor fighting as
And we've
opposed to
made the
like,
joke before of like, if you did that in the NFL, how long before somebody's cousin like ran on the
dude,
court with
no.
a chair?
Or how long? Well, you said the NFL. You mean the NBA?
NBA.
NBA, yeah, you would get family members out there duking it out. And honestly, if you let fights continue in the NFL, like we were just seeing last week on our last
Yeah.
show about the high school football thing, how long until somebody uses their helmet, which is literally like a big rock, basically. The helmet is like a 10-pound rock that you could like kill someone with. We already seen that with Miles Garrett and Mason Rudolph, where Miles Garrett a few years ago lied and said that Mason Rudolph called him the N word, so he swung his helmet at him. Come to find out that was a lie, and we just like completely memory hold that. I love that Miles Garrett is like poster boy of the NFL now, but we forget that like a few years ago he just flat out lied and basically like assaulted Mason Rudolph. But you already see that in the NFL. You don't really get that with hockey. And ironically, the deadliest hockey moment was a black guy who was probably trying to kill the white guy with his skate, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it's it's weird how it really is a very self-policed. I shouldn't say weird, but like it's a very
It follows.
self-policed
Yeah.
sport that it's just, and it's the same thing we've always talked about when people bring up the NBA and scuffles. It's like, and we've talked about this too. If you allowed fighting, how long until somebody gets knocked out and then they go out, grab a gun, and then they kill the other player at some point?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Dude, that's actually like kind of one of the unspoken things about the NBA is that a huge amount of resources in the NBA goes toward not allowing the image of the thug to proliferate too much because
I think
they
it's also changed too with now these nerdy Gen Z third generation players.
yeah, that's very true. They don't have to do as much policing as they did in the early and mid 2000s. But in the aftermath of Malice at the Palace, which I know you're familiar with, in the
Oh yeah.
aftermath of that, there were tons of new rules that got put into place. Dress codes, which they're loosening up on now that Gen Z wants to be like fashionistas instead of like thugs, which that could go either way. But yeah, I mean the NBA like they dedicate a lot of resources um to one story Carmelo Anthony disclosed this a couple of years ago. He said that when David Stern was the commissioner of the NBA, and I'm sure Adam Silver does this too, but when David Stern was commissioner, he said that they had people following like the biggest stars of the league. And I could tell that Carmelo didn't know what he was getting into, but what it sounded like was Mossad, basically. And all these wealthy Jews, basically, like Adam Silver and David Stern, like perfect example, Harvey Weinstein was tied in with Mossad. They all have capability to like follow these players around, make sure they're not using their millions to like fund drug operations or buy weapons and stuff.
And
Um,
it's almost like, can you
that's
really
definitely
blame
going
them for
on.
that?
No, I wouldn't. Dude, some of these
That's the
people
thing.
come
It's like
from I don't want to
maybe they
trust this
need
guy
to.
with 50 I don't want to trust this guy with $50 million to like be like the next King Vaughn. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I want to keep him under wraps. You know what I mean? Yeah, yeah, you see that happen a lot. So, um yeah, I think I may have fallen for some fake news here because this looks like a parody news site. It says parody satire fake news page. So this is the one that's saying that Heated Rivalry got canceled. I don't think it is because it
No, it got
seems
renewed,
it
and
it did
like
get okay. So I'm gonna
the big running joke is just like, how much porn can you milk out of this?
yeah, it's I've been hearing about it. It took me a minute. I didn't know what show you were talking. I thought you were saying that it was like a documentary, but I saw what you
No,
meant
no,
when I
no.
looked it up. Yeah, I've seen this. I've seen this thing.
It's brutal, but the crazy thing is, so like I told you about the one hockey podcast, Empty Netters, where like it's and that's a pretty big podcast in the hockey world. And these two nerds, the Power Brothers, are just literally they're soy jacking over it, and they're doing detailed like watches, and they're basically being like, "We're good allies. We're expand." Like they, I think I sent you a tweet a while back where somebody replied or some weirdo was like, "Oh, it's so," or I don't know. They were doing the weird like, "You guys are culturally appropriating us" type thing. Yeah, look,
Yeah,
there's other ones. Look at their soy jacking in all these.
yeah, they're loving this, aren't they? Oh my
Oh, and they're
gosh.
watching it like,
Wait, so are
oh,
they?
actually, so the one on the left told a really funny story. I don't have the clip, but so he ordered delivery, and he was watching Heat of Rivalry. He pauses it to get his carryout, and he opens the door for the Arab delivery driver. And when he paused it, there's a direct line to his TV, and one of the guys in the show's eating the other guy's ass, and the
No,
Arab just like sprinted away.
no. Oh my gosh. Could you imagine, dude? So
Well,
are
and then
these are these guys gay or what?
the brother? No, they're brothers.
Oh, okay.
They're a little effeminate. They're LA kind of like fuckboy types.
yeah, so they're just soy jacking over conservative hockey fans being
Yeah, and
outraged.
they're trying to just be like they're trying to be like it's a great show, it's so good, like everyone really needs to watch it. It's like they're pushing it, but the most egregious was so Barstool's Hockey Pod Spitting Chicklets.
Uh-huh.
That has like Paul Bissonnette who works for TNT, and it's one of like the biggest podcasts at Barstool.
Okay.
They are now kind of pushing the show, but you can tell it's like really awkward for these actual hockey players
Yeah, yeah, I
where
could
they
imagine.
have like some non-hockey player who like is on their shows like, oh yeah, it's like it's a really good show. It's and then one of the guys goes, well, like, well, how much sex is in it? And he's like, well, there's that aspect of it, and it's like,
uh,
but it's this coordinated effort to push it as a very expand the hockey community thing. And like I said, if you go on any tweets that are like pro heated rivalry,
uh-huh.
you'll see overwhelming negative responses and people saying we don't want this. This has no, like this has nothing to do with hockey. And the other
Right.
tweet I sent you, the one with the chick holding the sign and like
Yeah,
those.
the
So
sexual
this is
tension is
already hap-
killing me.
so this is already happening at games. Like
Oh
these
my.
women now started going to games. So there's some bit in the show, I don't know the context of it, but they call the rink a boy aquarium.
Oh, that's what this is because it's like they're watching boys behind glass perform
Yeah.
for them. Okay. I was wondering where that came from. Gotcha.
But basically they're like they're holding signs telling the players to kiss, but like look at these gooners.
Yeah.
Like
I
you
mean,
like they have the gooner smile too.
uh-huh. Yeah, I
And the
mean,
whole thing is they're going to these games not to watch hockey because they're going because they've built up this weird fantasy that the players are all secretly gay.
exactly. Yeah, I mean, that would honestly kind of piss me off if I were like some normal Chad in a NHL player. Like this is the attention that I literally wouldn't want. And it would like piss me off if I was getting asked in post-game interviews if I enjoy heated rivalry or something, you know?
Well, and I guess like some of the announcers now are making like heated rivalry references. Like they're
Uh,
really astroturfing this where they're trying to pretend like it's this big popular
cultural,
show,
yeah, yeah.
but like yes, theoretically it's getting views and like there's popularity, but it's not like hockey fans who like it. It's literally just goon at girl bosses and weird gooner chicks who are just using this to kind of like project their own weird porn love onto regular people.
Yeah,
But
I
it's
mean,
basically like it's basically almost slanderous to hockey.
yeah, yeah. I mean, this is literally the argument against wanting to like achieve mass acceptance. And also, like, there need to be male spaces. Like, is the argument really hockey is better off because women are now involved? Like, this is what happens when you involve women in any predominantly male space. It gets pornified, or in other cases, guys start changing their behavior to appeal to women. That's not what's happening here. But like, yeah, but like involving women in male spaces to this extent, not where they're just like becoming hockey fans, where they're changing the conversation of hockey, and it's just like not a positive thing.
Well, and the thing is, like, okay, so for all those chicks who show up to games with signs, it's we're about halfway through the season. Are they going to still be going to games and pretend to be interested in hockey in 2 months?
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like it's a cheap pop for like a little just kind of like blip in viewership and fans, but they're not people
Yeah.
who actually care about hockey.
Well, yeah. And these aren't
It's
people
just
that are paying for merch or like buying subscriptions to watch their team on the weekends or whatever. Like they're only in it basically to like drag it down. You know what I mean?
oh yeah. I think well, you know what would have been funny if they would have made a basketball version of this show because then you would have the racial discourse
Well, yeah,
and
because black people for all their faults, for all the black faults,
they
gay
wouldn't
is
take
just
it.
it just isn't there. And liberals have a really hard time like telling black people to accept gay because they know that it comes off as kind of like culturally
Well, Gavin
imperialistic.
McInnes always talked about the clip. I don't have it, but it's like when Trayvon Martin. It was like during the Trayvon Martin thing, and then there was like some group of college leftists, and it's like, we stand with Trayvon, we stand with the LGBT community, and this old black lady runs up, grabs like, nah, we ain't about that. We
Yeah,
ain't about that stuff.
many such cases with that. Yeah, you see that all the
Well, one of
time.
the things that's like very fascinating about the black community and how they like, yeah, like there are a lot of gays in the black community,
Yeah,
but it's like
it's
different where it's not like it's not forced to the forefront of everything. It gets to stay its own little.
It's considered like shameful. It's considered shameful in its own way. I mean, that's literally where the phrase down low comes from. He's on the down low. It's because it's something to be hidden and to be like to be pushed down and not talked about. It's very repressed. Um, yeah, it is interesting. It's not something to be celebrated at all. Um,
But
yeah,
then with anything white, it always has to get pushed to the top
right,
forefront.
right. That becomes like the identity. Exactly.
And the thing that's good, and like you're seeing this now, is like the kind of the I don't want to say hype, that's the wrong word, but like the way this show is like being pushed is really sliding down because again, like you get this initial big reaction, and then it's a TV show, so now it's done with this season. So all the women who magically became hockey fans, they don't give a shit about hockey anymore.
Right. Yeah.
They can
Like,
go
why
back
would
to
they?
reading other smut novels.
Exactly, because it's not like the show is only on during hockey season. It's like, okay, the show is over now. Now we have to actually play hockey. Oh, where'd you go? I thought you loved the game. Oh, no. You were only in it to like bring it down. You
You're
see
only
that
in
so
it for the
many times.
meme.
Exactly.
It was a fun
Yeah,
meme, and now they move on.
right.
Now they're moving on to whatever
They're like
the
locusts. Yeah,
next thing is.
right, right. Um, yeah,
Did we?
man.
Oh, we
Oh,
haven't
sorry.
covered the DK or the update on the DK situation.
What's the update?
Well, the
Uh,
guy had the press conference, and people went nuts, and
oh, yeah.
they were like, "This guy sucks. He's totally lying. Like, what kind of jerk holds a press conference?"
In a backwards hat. That's what the big critique was.
That to me was like very gay, and I even called some people gay because it feels like it's turning into WWE. One thing about like modern WWE fans is they all have a parasocial relationship
Hmm.
with the wrestlers. And like if you insult a wrestler, they act like you just insulted their brother or sister.
Right.
So like it's very creepy. Like and WWE's no but like people it's less of a big deal because it's wrestling. It's its own weird subculture and
Right. Right.
people just kind of let it go. But it's turning into this with the NFL because immediately you're getting the reaction from people on this that he definitely said the no word. Like
Right.
look at him wearing a backwards hat and having a press conference. It's
Ex-
almost like how dare you defy our idols? You
Yeah.
must not insult our sacred idols.
Yeah.
How dare you? Like we live in a caste system, and
Exactly.
that this guy needs to shut up and go away because he had
Like
the audacity
to
to
call him Decalen. Like seriously. Yeah. All,
and they're so mad. And like the thing is, this guy had every right to do that because he's being slandered with and people were kind of being like poo pooing it. But it's like, okay, he's been slandered as saying a no word,
exactly.
which like DK probably hasn't even brought that up since, and it's been dropped because it was
Because
just
it
an
was a
initial
lie.
impulse, and like
Exactly.
it's
Well,
like
yeah.
that knee jerk impulse of like he said it, and then it's like it comes out, and then it's like, well, actually, he didn't say it.
Right. And
But again,
they couldn't even say that he said it. All they could say is that
exactly.
the line is that he called DK something that you're not supposed to call a black man. So if he had said the N word, they would have said he said that. You know what I mean?
Oh
Like
yeah,
obviously.
and it's just really creepy how like much people just hate this guy, and he has every right to be like, okay, if I get branded as a racist for insulting a professional athlete, like I'm screwed.
Right. That's job
Like it's
opportunities. It's like
slander.
CPS
His
could come
fan
take your
like
kids. Like
well, there's all that aspect of it. It's truly crazy, and it's like the reaction that people are just so mad that he's standing up for himself and not just saying, "Oh, Mr. Pro Athlete,
right.
you're so much better than me. I'm sorry I insulted you. Please don't report me." Like he's like an upper caste and we're lower caste.
Exactly. Here we can watch some of it.
It is really hard to get me upset. But there's two things: animal abuse, racism. Like I get hot right away. Like I can feel it, my face gets all
He's slick. I like that.
And I
And
like he's
I'm not going to take it at face value. I think he's slick and he's
he's
playing it
pull
really well.
he's pulling a Trump. He's saying that I'm actually the least racist person. They call me racist. I'm actually the least racist. And I do also think it's funny that like I don't know if any libtards like picked up on this, but he is tying in racism with animal abuse, which is kind of like
It's pretty
if you
similar.
if you wanted
There's a lot of overlap.
if you wanted like because liberals view black people as like they're like dogs in a way.
Well,
They're like,
also like the worst, the people who treat their pets the worst
our
are
our
urban black
black
people.
people. Yeah, yeah, that's true. It's so funny though. He says my face gets all warm at
my
racism.
face gets all warm. So
Slick. I
I
like
just
it.
want to be crystal clear about one thing. I didn't use any racial slurs, no hate speech. I mean, none of that stuff at the game. Actually, never. 15 years season ticket holder for the Lions. I've never done that at all. So,
15-year season ticket holder.
to Kalen, if you're
I swear I've been a season ticket holder for 15 years and I have never once screamed the N word at the top of my
I love
lungs.
it. I love it.
No, I think
Like,
no, I'm fine with it.
I'm not even gonna be like, oh, what a cuck.
No,
He's a
no,
sport. Like the weebs would say,
he's
oh,
doing what
look, he's a sports ball cuck.
dude, he's doing what he has to do. Like
Yeah,
it's
and
it's not a problem.
I like it. Troll it to the furthest extent, even if it's not like
Well,
overt trolling.
no, this is a great troll right here where he says, "I want to give a message to DeKalen." He says it again to bait him.
to Kalen, if you're
DeKalen.
watching this, man, just
Slick.
you could just say that, please. Like, my family's getting threats and stuff.
I'm sure he's
Cool.
right about that.
So,
Yeah.
whether you said that or not, I'm sure you didn't want that to happen to the family. Even if you did, like, I forgive you, man.
Love it.
Yeah, that is a pretty good move to say like, dude, and he's telling the truth. You know his family's getting threats. Like
Oh yeah.
you gonna call a black man the N-word? What if we pull up on you then? You already know that that's happening for sure. For sure
Oh yeah.
happening.
It's happening, and it's just crazy how like it the onus should be on the players to toughen
Right.
up.
Yeah.
Like you saw that
Oh,
Westbrook
dude.
had a fan toss and
I
he got
can't
called Westbrook.
dude, he does it. It's so maddening to me. It's so maddening. The Westbrook thing really pisses me off, dude. Like
I
the
kind of want to try and sit courtside, call him Westbrook, and if he punches me in the face, I get to buy a house.
Yeah, dude. I mean that no, but yeah, but you would also get like half of sports media saying that you had it coming
Nah,
because you called
if
a
I get
black man outside of his
if
name.
he's got to settle with me for a couple 100,000,
It's worth it.
I'll
Yeah.
take it.
Yeah, no, you're right.
I'll wear a backwards hat and have a press conference.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. I just really can't stand that though, because like that's something that Westbrook has done specifically, and he's actually like directly contributed to this talking point that like heckling fans is somehow up there with like saying, "Get out of here, you monkey," or something like that. You know what I mean? Like those are
Yeah,
obviously not the same thing. Obviously not the same thing. And
I like.
I'm not even going to be a cuck about it and be like, the worst thing you can say is the N word. Look, there is like a certain amount of decorum that you do expect from fans. Like, look,
Yeah.
you do like obviously if you were saying F you and I'm gonna kill your wife or whatever,
Well, and that's the thing. I
yeah,
never faulted LeBron for having those two Zoomers kicked out of the game. Like two. Actually, oof, that was
was
like 4 years ago.
was he talking about his wife and his kids or
No,
something?
they said we hope Bronny dies,
Okay, see, that is
and
yeah,
he had
that
them kicked out,
yeah, I think that
which that's
warrants it.
acceptable.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. But
And they
saying
were dead courtside. It's not like it was somebody.
oh, dude, Westbrook will target people 5 rows off court side.
Well,
He's
it'd be
so
funny if
soft,
Westbrook
dude.
tried to fight somebody, like the Draymond situation. Like if
Hmm.
Westbrook, actually, maybe I should see when the Lakers or who's Westbrook play for now? Oh,
The
Sacramento.
Kings, the Kings. Yep.
I should see when Sacramento's playing the Pelicans because I wonder if that 6'7" dude is gonna heckle him.
Oh yeah, right, dude. That guy was awesome. He stood.
Well, Dre like thought he was about to walk over and tower over him, and
That's what they
all of a
always
sudden, dude
count on.
stands up and he's an inch taller than him.
He's taller than Dray, and then Draymond had to lie and say that, well, when I approached him, he didn't have too much to say. It's like, dude, we all
He had his
saw it on
arms
camera.
out.
Yet
He mogged you.
he went, what are you doing, man?
He absolutely mogged Draymond. Well, Draymond had a fan in Milwaukee thrown out years ago because it was some 40-year-old black dude who was like something about checking in, and Draymond's like, he threatened my life.
Oh yeah, about checking into the city. You ain't check in or whatever. Usually that only happens in Memphis and Atlanta, but yeah, I believe that.
It was funny
That's
because it was like a
crazy.
40. It wasn't like some YN. It was like a 40-year-old
That's
black
so
dude.
funny. Yeah, just a perpetual child, 40-year-old black guy checking in. That's such a dumb concept anyway. Um,
And
yeah, man.
he had the fancy Bucks Leatherman jacket wearing his chain
Mm,
like he was sitting courtside at the Staples Center.
that's so funny, man. This was in Milwaukee?
Yeah.
That's so funny, man.
Well, that was the thing. Like in the first, I'd say up until 2018, like it wasn't like when Budenholzer took over and they took the next step, and then all of a sudden it became like a 50-60 win team.
Uh-huh.
I don't think they won 60, but when they
Yeah,
took
yeah,
the
something
jump
like
from
that.
like a 6 to 8 seed team to like a 1 seed team,
Hmm.
it coincided with getting a new coach and a brand new arena. And we're a very small city, so a newer. I liked my old shitty arena, but
Yeah.
we got the new arena, so all of a sudden, all every black person thought it's the Staples Center,
Yeah,
and
yeah, I could see that.
they all started signing up for season tickets, and all of a sudden, the group who hated the Bucks forever,
Right.
they were every black person in Milwaukee was very anti-Bucks for from 2004 to about 2018. It
Yeah,
was
once
nah, they trash, they ain't good,
once they got
they
rid of Ray
stink.
Allen, yeah.
It pretty much from Ray Allen to
And
like
Michael Red
they were
up
like
to
Giannis ain't got no shot.
right.
He ain't play. I've heard they were old unks saying
He ain't even
he
really
ain't
black.
play AAU here.
He ain't even really black. He Greek. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, once he started playing good, they're like, "Oh yeah, we were always on his side." But
N-
like it's funny because like I always joke about the whole black people being very matriarchal
Mhm.
and kind of longhouse because it was
Mhm.
them and white women all of a sudden became the biggest Bucks fans in the world once there was a shiny new arena to go to games at.
Ah, interesting. Yeah, I could
Actually,
totally see that.
that there was a tweet I can't remember. It was some chick from New Orleans. She posted about how the Rose Bowl stadium is like it's a piece of shit stadium,
Uh-huh.
and it made me think. I said, women, the whole arena industry and building new arena is geared towards women. It's
Hmm.
because we as guys we don't care.
No,
Beer,
exactly.
seat,
They need
game.
like they need like a shopping center.
They
They need
need
yeah,
they
yeah,
need
yeah, you're
Jerry
right about
World.
that.
They need the wine bar in the concourse, and it
100%.
needs to be shiny. And
That's a good point
that's
actually.
one way sports has become very, very longhoused. Because if sports was truly this traditional male space,
Uh-huh.
then we wouldn't care about stuff. That's why I like Wrigley. It's as bare bones as possible,
Yeah, that
and
is
it's the
true.
best kind of stadium. And
Yeah,
now everything's like a
that's why
shopping
all
mall.
these new things have to be surrounded by like clubs or a wine bar or like a series of nice restaurants around it.
All this stuff that's like you has nothing to do with watching the game.
Yeah, they want to do the TikTok, like the get ready with me to go out on the town and also catch a game while we're going
Well,
out.
and they like giving free PR to these billion-dollar companies to be like, look at this brand newer. That's a like they all these modern women with their TikToks and Instagrams. So we're getting a little off topic, but it's
No,
something
it's
that's
all
been
good.
bothering me. Like even like you've seen this too. Like you'll see regular chicks influencer post
Uh-huh.
where they'll be
Yeah,
like
yeah.
they'll like do a whole video about going to a new restaurant in town or going to the game, and it won't be a full get ready with me, but it's like you're not getting paid to give this
Yeah.
place free PR. You're
It's that
just
you want to
doing it.
feel like an influencer. Exactly.
Yeah, it's like stolen valor.
Right, right. Yeah, I
You
can
just
think
want
of
to
a
feel
few.
like, and that's like the problem is then you see that where they kind of do game chic, where I don't want to say dress to the nines, but like
yeah, but like
they get their outfit ready for the game, colors matching, they get their pictures of sitting in lower level seats, and
exactly.
it's like you don't live in LA, you're not at the Staples Center.
Right. Right. Yeah. They all want to feel like it's like they're at like Paris Fashion Week basically, but not being in Paris basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see that a ton. I can think of a few very specific examples where I've seen that. It's very true. Yeah, they do have to like just keep building these arenas like because nothing is just an
OKC's
arena
building a
anymore.
new arena.
Hmm. Nothing
That's
is like
insane to me.
yeah, nothing is like just an arena anymore. It has to be surrounded by like a new city basically for women to like do TikToks and Instagram basically. That's so true.
And it's like they don't respect the rundown borderline dive bar that people go to before games for decades.
Right.
It's always got to be this very, and like I always deal with this with my buddy's wife, who's like a wannabe influencer,
Uh-huh.
goes out because she always wants to go to. She's like, oh, we'll go to this place, and then like I'm like, I'd rather go to this place because it's like a dirty floor, uh, beer and shot. It's a perfect place to have to slam back some drinks before going to a game.
Mhm.
Not seedy, but not too seedy. But then she wants to go. She drags us to like the most sterile,
Mhm.
like brand new development right across from the stadium where drinks are way more expensive. Not to be one of those complain about drink prices people,
But I
but
know what
where
you
it's
mean.
just there's no character.
Exactly.
It's like this
Yeah.
place is going to be called something else in like 6 months.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's the same thing with the arenas. They don't really have character anymore. It's like it's a mall basically with like wine bars. Yeah.
It's like
100%.
Jerry World.
Yeah, exactly. And we're going to get a good taste of that during the World Cup this year. Can't wait to see how that plays out. We'll probably have a lot of content from the World Cup to see how these Europeans interact with like American
Why
stadium.
can't I walk in Atlanta?
Yeah, or like why can't I like because like in Dallas is going to be like a rude awakening for them. All
Oh
these sport,
God, they're gonna
well,
all get
you already
hotels
know.
in Dallas, and
You
then
already you've
they're gonna
we've talked about
realize it's a
this.
40-minute drive to Arlington.
They're going to stay in downtown Dallas because they don't know what Fort Worth is. And Fort Worth is a little closer to Arlington. They don't
And
know what
all the
Fort Worth
smart
is.
people will stay at the Lowe's right. Well, actually, that's probably gonna be where all the players are staying at the Lowe's right
Yeah,
by Globe Life and Jerry
exactly.
World.
But they're all going to stay in downtown Dallas, and they're going to think that there's like a train that runs from Dallas to Arlington. Arlington actually has, I forget what the exact metric is, but it has the worst public transportation score of a city of its size. So it
Oh, it's got
has
to
like,
have one of the. It has one of the worst walk. Just in my
oh, it's
perception,
horrible. It's all parking
I
lots.
I think I told you this story. So we're staying at the Lowe's right next to I don't think the MLB stadium, but right next to Texas Live
Yeah. Oh,
and
yeah.
like
I know. Yeah.
right over
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think I look at my map, I'm like I didn't take into account distance. And I'm like, okay, there's a Starbucks over here and a donut shop on the walk over. It was like a 45-minute walk to the donut shop.
Yeah, dude. It's
And then like I looped around. What do you remember what college? It's like a small college. It's right over by there.
UTA, University
I
of
think
Texas at Arlington.
I think it was that, or it might have been some weird small private college. But then I looped around. So all in all, to get donuts and coffee,
Uh-huh.
it was like a 2 hour walk.
Yeah, dude. It's a truly well, I wouldn't say truly American, but in the sense that like American cities are built around cars, Dallas fully embodies that. Like nothing, there is nothing walkable in this place. Like it is centered around like living in a nice enclave suburb 40 minutes from downtown and going into downtown maybe on the weekends. Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I totally know what you mean. Yeah, like when we went to Nobu, that like we were talking about that was like a 40-minute drive each way. And I have no
Damn.
interest in living like near this like in the city or anything. I like living in the far suburbs and then just doing a drive. So,
Oh
um
yeah. Well, I was in
yeah.
the. It's kind of reminds me. I was in when I went to Chicago last night for dinner. It was it was like the far north side of the city, but
Uh-huh.
it was like it was a really cool area where you're just enough outside of downtown where you don't have to deal with like the chaos,
Hmm.
but then Chicago has the trains, that's why all the libtards love it.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. They love the whole train thing, man. Yeah, anything to get the lower classes near the upper classes. Anything that'll enable that. Um, yeah, I think we can probably wrap it up here. I had some other stuff I needed to wrap up before I go to dinner, but um, yeah, I think we should be good there. Um, yeah, thanks for watching. If you are watching this, just keep in mind what we said earlier. We have a really cool guest coming on. It should be Monday, to talk about some stuff, and I think everyone will enjoy it. So we're excited about it. Um, if you want to follow SW on Twitter, it's Snowmed34,
And
SNOWMED.
the profile pic is not going to be the normal profile pic for the
Oh,
next month because
you're gonna change it?
no, it's already been changed.
Oh,
So
I didn't see that.
I'm stuck with Vivek's feet as my profile pic until Monday,
You're
and
gonna have.
then then I got warning that I'm not gonna like what week 2 is gonna be. So
You're
I
gonna
don't
have to.
know how bad it's gonna be.
You're gonna have to explain the Vivek feet profile picture to our next guest.
Well,
He'll get a
I
kick out of
know
that.
they're gonna give me grief because I was supposed to do it for this podcast to have the Abby be the feet, but yeah, Patriot Dog. He gave me forewarning that I'm not gonna like week 2. I don't know what week
Mm,
3 has in store, but um, yeah. So
okay, I'll keep an
come
eye out for that.
February, the profile pic will go back to the tried and true Christopher Moltisanti. But
You could use that as an opportunity to use a new Christopher Moltisanti one.
I'm probably going to because I
That's
was
an
just
idea.
thinking I don't think I have the one. I might have the one saved, but I might just use it as the opportunity. But I just got to get through this month of whatever hell they're putting me through with pictures.
Yeah, man, that should be interesting. I'll check it out. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. Again, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And we will be back on Monday for another episode with a special guest. So I will talk to you soon, SW.
Take care, man.
All right, later.